There's a white powder that costs just $2 at the store, and it pulls your indoor temperatures down by a full 10 degrees. It bounces back 98% of every ray of sunlight hitting it. It produces more cooling output than your air conditioning system is generating right now. Purdue University ran the tests, and Guinness officially confirmed the results. Human beings have been using this powder for over 4,000 years. The ancient Greeks coated every single wall with it. The Romans worked the same material into all of their plaster. Every whitewashed village stretched along the Mediterranean coast still depends on this exact powder to get through the summer heat. Then, a $200 billion industry made a decision. They decided you should never, under any circumstances, learn what it is called. They did not walk away from this powder because it ever stopped working. They stopped talking about it because it worked far too well. A simple powder that replaces your air conditioning for just $2 cannot be packaged and resold to you for hundreds of dollars. And anything that cannot be turned into recurring profit has to quietly disappear. This is the full story of the cheapest cooling solution humanity has ever produced, and the two enormous industries absolutely terrified that you might watch and share this video. Welcome to Forbidden Camping. This is where we break open every vault the outdoor industry fights to keep locked. If these stories mean something to you, hit subscribe right now and ring the bell so you never miss a single vault we crack open. In 1973, a senior researcher at Lawrence Berkeley National Laboratory in California brushed a flat rooftop with plain powdered limestone. Not a commercial product, just crushed calcium carbonate carefully stirred into water. The very same recipe that Greek grandmothers had been mixing for 3,000 years in their small island communities. The results rewrote everything understood about passive cooling. That white roof registered a surface temperature 40 degrees lower than the dark roof sitting directly beside it. Temperatures inside the building dropped by 8 full degrees. That structure required zero air conditioning throughout the entire summer. A $14 bag of hydrated lime from any hardware store outperformed a $5,000 air conditioning system. But this was not a discovery for anyone who actually knew the history. Go back to 1500 BC on the volcanic island of Crete. The Minoans already had it figured out. They plastered their walls a brilliant white using calcium lime burned from locally quarried limestone. Dark stone soaked up every ray of heat like an oven baking from the outside in. So they ground the local rock, stirred in water, and painted every surface exposed to the blazing Mediterranean sun. Interior temperatures held around 72 degrees throughout the day, even as the outdoor summer heat climbed to 95. No electricity, no mechanical systems of any kind. Just limestone, sunlight, and the basic physics of solar reflection. The technique traveled everywhere: Santorini, Mykonos, Morocco, southern Spain, southern Italy, billions of homes across thousands of years, all cooled by a white powder that cost almost nothing to produce. Then in 1902, Willis Carrier introduced what became modern residential air conditioning, not because air conditioning actually outperformed the powder, but because air conditioning could be billed to you every single month. Lime could never generate recurring revenue. You buy it once, mix it with water, roll it onto your roof, and it quietly works for years without a subscription or a service contract. No filter to swap out, no monthly electricity charge. The air conditioning industry spotted a $14 fix for the exact problem they had planned to charge you thousands to solve indefinitely. Stay with me here because the science behind this ancient powder is even more striking than the history surrounding it. But first, everything you have seen in this video so far barely scratches the surface of what was buried. I gathered every technique and every verified study and every method the outdoor industry quietly shelved. All of it is inside the complete Forbidden Outdoor Vault package: ancient natural cooling methods that cost you almost nothing, emergency survival shelters that outperform expensive tents, water purification methods still used by the military, fire starting techniques classified today as dangerous knowledge, food preservation methods that genuinely work without power. Over 10 complete guides gathered in one place with zero filler. The link is sitting right inside the description. But stay here with me now because this video is just getting started. In 2021, Professor Shulin Ruin, working at Purdue University in Indiana, developed a formula that rattled the entire paint manufacturing industry, the whitest paint ever recorded. It reflects 98.1% of all incoming sunlight on contact. Standard commercial white reflects 80% at best. But surfaces treated with this formula do not just stay cool on a hot afternoon, they actually drop below the surrounding air temperature on their own. During daylight hours, the treated surface measured 8 degrees cooler than the air. At night, that gap widened to a full 19 degrees below ambient. Ruin calculated that applying this formula across 1,000 square feet of rooftop generates a continuous cooling output of 10 kilowatts. That exceeds the output of the central air conditioning unit running inside your home, without consuming a single watt of electricity. A coat of paint on your roof produces more cooling power than your entire AC system, using no energy whatsoever. The Guinness Book of World Records officially certified this paint as the whitest surface ever produced by human hands. Peer-reviewed journals backed it up. CNN ran coverage. The Smithsonian published a full write-up. Every major science outlet across the globe reported on it. And then something very quiet and very deliberate happened next. Almost nothing in the industry changed at all. The global paint market generates over $200 billion every year. Sherwin-Williams, PPG Industries, the household names, these companies sell paint engineered to last 5 to 7 years before requiring replacement. Their entire business model depends on repeat purchases. A lime coating that holds for decades and eliminates the need for air conditioning threatens 2 entire industries simultaneously. Combined, those industries represent over $300 billion in annual global revenue. You cannot patent limestone. You cannot trademark calcium hydroxide or build a subscription model around a powder anyone can walk in and buy for $7. And what you cannot control, you have to bury. Homeowner associations across dozens of states now explicitly ban white or highly reflective roofing surfaces. They mandate earth tones, browns, and deep grays, precisely the colors that absorb the maximum amount of solar heat and mathematically guarantee that you will keep needing air conditioning. This is documented inside HOA rulebooks. You can look it up right now. The roofing industry established standards that favor commercial materials, requiring scheduled replacement and generating predictable revenue. A $14 bag of lime produces zero industry profit, so the industry made absolutely certain it was left out of the conversation entirely. If you made it this far, you already understand passive cooling better than 99% of people alive today. Subscribe and share this with someone who genuinely needs this information. Everything the industry buried is waiting inside the complete vault. The link is right there in the description. Now stay with me. What comes next is the knowledge they are most determined to keep from you. And I want to be straight with you here. Lime paint is not the perfect answer for every single situation. It wears down faster than modern synthetic commercial roof coatings. It needs a fresh coat applied every couple of years, but that is exactly how your grandparents used it. They brushed it on every spring. 2 hours, almost no cost. And their home stayed cool all summer long without a single machine running. Here's precisely what to do with everything you just learned. Walk into any hardware store and pick up one 50-pound bag of Type S hydrated lime. It runs between $7 and $14 per bag. Combine the powder with water until the mixture resembles thin milk, roughly 1 part lime to 2 parts water, stirred until smooth. Apply it with a thick nap roller or a wide brush directly onto your roof surface. 2 full coats. Let the first coat dry completely before the second, ideally overnight. Total cost for an average-sized roof, $14 to $28. Total time, 1 afternoon. A homeowner in Texas followed these exact steps. His attic temperature fell from 140 degrees down to 97 after the coating went on. His indoor temperature dropped by 10 full degrees throughout the house. His air conditioning barely cycled on the entire summer, saving him hundreds every month. He calculated over $1,200 in electricity savings during that single year from 2 bags of powder. Now hold that number up against a new AC installation. $5,000 to $15,000 paid up front. Monthly electric bills running $150 or higher, or 2 bags of lime applied once a year. No electricity consumed. The Greeks understood this before writing even existed as a system. The Romans used it to keep entire cities cool across their empire. Professor Ruin proved it outperforms modern air conditioning pound for pound. $300 billion in global annual revenue needs you to stay in the dark. But right here, right now, you just connected every single dot yourself. This knowledge never vanished from the earth. It was buried under $200 billion worth of marketing and building codes written by the very people who profit from heat. The powder is still sitting on the shelf at your local hardware store right now. $7, no questions asked. Your great-grandmother knew. She painted her house every spring without hesitation. The science confirmed what history had already proven thousands of years before, and the industry spent decades making absolutely sure you would never find out. But today, right here watching this video, you just did. If this vault opened something in you, subscribe and pass it on. Every share keeps alive what they spent decades trying to erase. The next vault opens soon. What is inside it weighs even heavier.